Got a pretty good video for you today. Well, at least we got one planned out. As you can see, we're in here on that 1962 Mobile Scout of Sam's from Rob to the Rescue. We got a lot of work done on it, but before we can go any further on this kitchen, we have got to run some plumbing. And this one has a hot water tank. Sam and his wife want a few extra things. And so what we've got to do today is we're going to run some PEX. And by we're going to run some PEX, Jim's here. Jim's going to show us how to run PEX plumbing. Jim, welcome to World Headquarters. Glad to see you back.
I'm glad to be back out here. You finally invited me back out. I know you fans has been wanting to see me. So.
That's for sure. That's for sure. What do you got for us?
Today we're going to talk about PEX. This is the best way to fix these Vinny campers. Most all the old ones come with copper lines. People's let water sit in them, or if it's sagging down and busted them wide open. This PEX can actually freeze, swell up, and go back down and not bust. But I still want to drain them and all that. So PEX is very easy. You've got clamps, you slide it on, you slide a valve on, you slide the deal about a 1/4 inch away, like that, and then they've got a tool. You slip right over it, and they're kind of, and it's clamped on there, and it will not come off. And then you've got to shut off on and off.
So that's a specialty tool. All the PEX stuff, just everything has to be PEX.
Yes, and try to stay with the same brands, same clamps, same pipe, and then your crimper, okay? Say this was running in your camper. Now you find the hot side, which we put these flex lines on everything. This is just like hooking up your faucet at home or your toilet. It's a 3/8 flare, connects right on there, connects right on there. And then you've got some adjustment. Turn your water on, you should have hot water. He's wanting a hot water tank in his so he can have hot water and an outside shower.
So this is the first time we've done this. Have you installed one before? A shower?
I have not installed an outside shower, but we had one on a newer camper, and I really love them because basically you just put them in the side of your camper and come out here and you can rinse off. If you've been swimming and got sand on you, you can rinse your dishes. These pull out and you can use them right outside.
It looks like it's going to be pretty handy.
Yes.
Sam and his wife were pretty adamant they're going to have an outside shower.
You've got connections like that. The same flex lines hook right on there. And as I say, I'll come back here. We'll put a T in it. We'll run to the shower. We can run to the hot water heater. Anytime you put one of these hot water heaters in there, this is a, what was it, 3 gallon?
I think so, yeah.
3 gallon. So you've got 3 gallon of hot water. This is a pop-off valve. If anything ever overheats, it's a pop-off valve, and you need to run it and drain it through the floor of the camper. So if it ever goes off, it goes outside and not in the floor of your camper.
So is there really a difference between, or what is the difference between the blue and the red pipe?
There's actually no difference. They just do them that way so you know it's cold water and hot water. And they just run along the camper, and whenever you want to connect on something, you cut it, which I'll show you how. These are the special cutters. You just cut it, put a T in it, clamp, and then you can run to whatever you need to supply, from a toilet to an outside shower to your hot water heater.
So today we're going to run a couple of T's because we've got several places we want to get that hot water to. So you were telling me earlier that the cold water is going to make a run into the hot water heater here, right? That's going to be
it's just like at home.
The T's.
You've got to run cold water in, and it goes and heats it up, and then your hot water runs in your hot water pipe. So yes, it has to run cold water into here, heat it up, and then it runs into the hot.
So we've got to run cold water into the hot water tank. We've got to run it into the sink faucet.
And here.
And right over to the shower. So we're going to have to use a couple of T's. But we've got some shutoffs.
These are the connection that all of us use on the outside of the camper. You come in, Put an adapter right on there. This comes through the outside of the camper. It will actually stick right there. Then that's got a PEX connection on the end. You connect your line in or use a T like that, and that's how you start your line, your water running inside. So these are very, very good connections.
Now what are these shutoffs for?
These I'm actually going to use in the drain. You run your lines kind of basically level in there, and then you make a low point in them. And right there, I will put a T and go down, put these valves in. It's called low point drains. So in the wintertime, you go open these drain valves, and they're pointed, and they go through the floor also. You just open those valves, and all the water will drain to outside. Because it's called low point drains. Any modern camper, they run the plumbing, and there's a point in there. It's lower than the rest of it. So like, let's see how that's lower. If you put a drain right there, it would drain all the water out. So you do not want to let it freeze in the winter. That's one of the number one things in the spring. People go out and somehow know they've left water in it, and it busts the plumbing, and then they have to fix everything. So PEX is the greatest, latest thing. Everybody's using it. It's just easy to run, much, much better than copper or PVC or any of that.
Well, I say let's go on inside and let's put some of this together. We'll kind of show people exactly what it's going to look like. All right, Jim, you've got a lot of work done. Kind of talk us through what we're working on here.
Okay, here's your hot and your cold, and will be mounted up on the wall like this. Here's your hot and cold for your shower. Here's your hot and cold for the kitchen sink. And here's your hot going into the hot water heater, or the cold going into the hot water heater, feeding back, that won't go in there, feeding into the hot. And then these will run through the floor, so you can open these. These are not clamped yet. These are your low point drains. So this will kind of run at a little bit of an angle. You open these valves when you're done camping, and all this water will drain, and it will go down through the floor outside.
All right, so we got a little bit of clamping to do, and then all we're going to do is get it installed in here, and we'll be back to show you our next steps.